Here we go. Ready. 2-2B. 2-2B. Yeah, pretty much. Sometimes it gets bogged down. It doesn't download. Hey guys, being that you guys are period 6, and sometimes even period 5, but mostly period 6. Period 6 and 7 are very, it's not the greatest period to have a tough class. So if you have a tough class, period 6 and 7, it's not great because some of you are so involved in things, like they disappear to sing. And that's great, but yet it takes them out of class. So you're going to have to get used to going to YouTube and listening to the lesson, even though it might be kind of slow for you, because remember, I wait for students to do their work, so it's dead time. But at least you can speed it up, right? Just speed it up and get to the problem you want to see. Speed it up, get to the problem you want to see. You could probably do the lecture in 15 minutes versus 30. So get used to it if you're a very involved student in other things, okay? The other thing is, I think you're in the class that I said this to, did you notice that this week, if you look at your calendar, it's what? Did I mention the hurricane? It is a hurricane. It's just like Hurricane Michael came through Florida and just wiped out Florida. Well, guys, this week it was 2-1, 2-2, 2-2, 2-3, 2-3. 5 days, 5 lessons. That's a hurricane, right? Okay. Then the next week comes, you got so many lessons to teach. Half a lesson. Half a lesson. And the reason I say it's half a lesson. The reason I say it's half a lesson next week is because it's on imaginary numbers. So I give you a worksheet, and it's really, I ask you for the answers, so I don't really teach it. You just tell me the stuff. And it's a really kind of easy lesson next week. We have a review day, we have a half a lesson, we have a quiz, and we have a short week. So yes, this is a hurricane week, but yes, next week is. It's kind of like a vacation week, right?
It's like
You have a quiz next week on Wednesday. Okay. Anyways, guys, go back to 2-2. A-B. A-B. Anything you want. Anything you want. We gotta do this quick because we want to get through our lesson in 10 minutes short. Period 5 at 10 minutes short. I can do that, but I'm not sure if everybody wants to do that. Molly said, can we just go through the lesson? And then you help us on questions we have later.
Yeah.
And then I'll collect the homework at the end?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Here we go. This is it. Okay, you ready? Get ready if you're ready.
Ready.
Okay. I'm not. Hang on.
It's already recording.
I forgot to record.
It's already recording.
Oh, we're recording. Here we go. Okay, long division. Okay. I mentioned it period 5, and they didn't really have a like thumbs up. Yeah, I remember long division. So maybe you will, maybe you won't. I don't know. Okay, you kind of learned long division. First of all, you learned division in probably
4th grade.
3rd grade, 4th grade. Okay, so this is kind of what you did, right? 8 divided by 2. Answer? 4. How do you check your answer? Take your what?
4.
Your answer. And what? Multiply it by what?
2.
The divisor. And do you get that number? That number is called the dividend, 8. Do you get it? Sure you do. It works, right? But then your 3rd grade teacher got a little more mean, and later your 3rd grade teacher said, all right, now do that. So later in 3rd grade, you were doing something like this. So how'd you do it?
4 times 3 is 12.
Hey, one person.
4 times 3 is 12.
4 times 3 is 12. Okay, but your teacher probably said, here's what you do. You go inside, you cover it up, and you start with 1. How many times is 4 going to 1? Doesn't. So then you kept going. How many times is 4 going to 12? 3. So then you put a 3 here, right? Then what'd you do?
Subtract it to 12.
No. Before that.
Multiply the 3 by the 4.
You took the answer times your divisor. You got 12. You drew a line, right? Then you subtract it. 12 minus 12 is 0. Bring down the next number, right? 7. Okay, and then you said, how many times is 4 going to 7? Just once. Put a 1 there and did what? Multiply, you got what?
Subtract
4. Then you subtracted, you got 3, and you called that number the remainder. And probably back in 3rd grade they did this. Like that. 31, remainder 3? Yeah? Okay, or they did, maybe your teacher was really advanced and said 31 and 3/4. So that's your remainder over your divisor, right? Good? Memories on that? Yeah? I'm glad you said yeah, because guess what? Today we'll do the same thing, except it's a polynomial divided by a polynomial, right? So nothing changes, except it's just variables. Here we go. So you start by going like this. The divisor's on the outside, x minus 3. The dividend is on the inside, right? The one you're dividing into, x cubed minus 3x squared minus 2x plus 6. Now the question is, how many times will x minus 3 go into that mess? Okay. I'm not sure what you remember, but this is really all you have to do. You don't care about x minus 3, you just care about what? You just care about this number. How many times will this x go into the first term? X cubed. How many times does that go into that? 3 times? Because you're saying x makes x cubed. It's not right. It's x what? It's x squared. Now why? Because of this. X cubed is xxx, isn't it? Over what? Just x. When you divide, you just, as long as you have multiplication going on, you just cross out the same number. So all that's left is what? X squared. But here's the deal. You don't do this. You just do what to your exponents? You subtract. 3 minus 1 is 2. That's all you ever do. That's the rule for exponents. So the answer is x squared. Where would you put it up here? Above the x squared, right? Makes sense, doesn't it? Now what do you do? Multiply, yeah. That is a binomial, so you have to multiply twice. X squared times x is x cubed. X squared times negative 3 is negative 3x squared. Draw your line, just like I did over there. And now what? Do what? Subtract. When you subtract, watch this. When I subtract that from that, you got to remember it's a binomial. So it's x cubed minus x cubed. Negative 3x squared minus a minus 3x squared. The best way to do it is run the negative through, right? If you run the negative through, it makes this what? Negative. Run it through, it makes this what? Positive. Now you're really just adding those terms. So what's x cubed? Take away x cubed? Nothing. What's negative 3x squared? Add 3x squared. Nothing. Nothing, nothing. I'm not going to put anything. Bring the next number down. Bring the next number down. Right? Now what are you concerned about? Just this x. How many times will this x go into that term, negative 2x? Now remember, that's 1. Don't the x's just cancel out? Okay. What's the answer? Negative 2 times. Okay. Would you put it above the x term or the constant term? Yeah, it's a constant. Put the constant over a constant. Okay. Now multiply, and you end up with what? Negative 2x plus 6 draw your line and subtract. But really, subtraction is the same as adding the opposite. What's add down? What do you get? You get 0. Well, remember here the remainder was 3. What's your remainder here? 0. So do you have your answer up there? Yeah, what is it? Oh, yeah, x squared minus 2. Now, really quick, how would I check this? If I want to make a quick check, am I right? What do I do?
Plug it in.
You take your answer, x squared minus 2, right? Times what? The divisor, x minus 3. And you basically FOIL this out, don't you? And you better get what? You better get what you were dividing into, right? Isn't that what I did here when I checked this one? I did my answer 4 times my divisor 2, and I better get 8. Okay, I'm not going to do that. That takes up too much time, and you guys, we want time to work in the end. But that's how you check. Answer times the divisor, see if it's what you started with inside. Good? All right. Try it. I'll catch up to you. Let's just practice. All you care about is x. How many times will x go into the first term? 3x cubed. What was the answer there? What? Yes, 3x squared, right? And I would have put it right here above the 2x squared. Okay? And then, of course, you just start multiplying. And you end up with 3x squared negative. No, you don't. You end up with positive, don't you? Yep. Okay, then you subtract that mess. Okay, and I'm gonna be done with showing my subtraction. Subtraction is the same as adding the, what's the opposite? Negative, negative. Huh? How did I end up with positive? Do you agree that's positive? Yeah. Okay, so 3x squared times x is 3x cubed. And a 3x squared times a positive 1 is 3x squared. Positive. Now we subtract, but when we subtract, everything turns to its opposite. This is 0. This is what, everybody? What's this? Negative 5x squared. Okay, good. Negative 5x squared. Bring down, and see what you got now. This minus this. Okay? Again, all you care about is how many times will the first term x go into that first term, negative 5x. Well, let's see here. Negative 5x squared divided by x, this is 1, is what? Negative 5x, yep. And that would go right above the x term. I put it right here. Then I just multiply again. Negative 5x times x is negative 5x squared. Negative 5x times 1, negative 5x. Draw your line. Now subtract. Subtraction is adding the opposite. So go plus and go plus, and then add down and get what? 6x what? Negative 8. Okay. You guys, we're almost done. This is kind of a long one. There's what x going to what? 6x. That's a 1x. 6 times. Positive. So you put a plus 6. And then you multiply 6x. Then you multiply plus 1. No, plus 6. Draw your line. Subtract. Change everything to negative, negative. Opposite. 6x. Take away 6x. Gone. Negative 8. Negative 6.
Negative 14.
What's this called?
Remainder.
That's remainder. So the answer is right there. 3x squared minus 5x plus 6 plus a remainder of negative 14 over what?
X plus 1.
X plus 1. So that one had a remainder. I think the other one had no remainder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one had a remainder. Okay, just a quick check. I'm not doing it. I just want you to tell me. To check it, you would multiply what?
3x squared minus
3x squared minus.
5x plus 6 plus the remainder.
But this times what?
Times that.
The divisor. But the problem is it won't work because there's a remainder of what?
14 over.
Negative 14. Don't worry about that fractional part. Just say this times this, and then whatever that is, take off another 14. So you'll FOIL and you'll do all that work and you'll get something, and then you gotta take 14 away, and you should end up with this inside. Again, that I'm not gonna do just because it's take us another minute or two. Don't want to take your time. You get how to check it though, right?
Yeah.
All right. One more. Be careful. Be careful. Okay, stop. I don't want you to go on because I said be careful for a reason. There's a trick here. You see that polynomial on the top? You know, if I did this to you, if I said 35 goes into 2020, is it really that important that I put these zeros in those spots? Because if I didn't put those zeros in there, what number would it be?
22.
It'd be 22, right? So 35 goes into 22. That's not even close to the same thing, right? So why am I telling you that? You're missing what? You're missing an x cubed term, you're missing a x term. That was the secret. Okay? You guys, you got to put place value in. There are no x cubes. There are no x terms. So if you didn't do this, that's why I stopped you. Because if you didn't do it, you're going to get it wrong. All right. Now, begin. So I actually did the first step. Are you okay with what I did? I got x squared, I put it on top, I multiplied, I got that. Then I'm subtracting, which means change the signs, right? So you'd end up with negative, 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 right? Now add down. 0. What's this? Yep. And then followed by plus x squared. Yep. And then just bring down everything. Just keep bringing it down because you're going to forget if you don't bring it down. How many times does x squared go into negative x cubed? Negative x. That goes right above the 0x, right? Multiply, you get negative x cubed, negative x squared, negative 1x, or just negative x. Right on. Hopefully you agree. I do make mistakes, so you're supposed to correct my mistakes. Okay, subtract. Subtraction is same as adding the opposite. So add the opposite. Gone. What's this? 2x squared plus x plus, no minus, 3. Okay. How many times will x squared go into the first term? 2x squared. These are just going to go away. 2. Answer is plus 2. 2 times this. 2x squared. What? Plus 2x. Plus 2. Got it. Underline. Add the opposite, which is subtraction. Subtract. Gone. What's this? This.
-5.
Okay. Are you done? Hang on. You got to know when you're done. Are you done?
Yes.
How do you know?
Because there's no something that's an x squared.
There's no what?
X squared. To go into x.
Okay, so that's what it is. When you say, how many times will x squared go into what? Negative x in the first. Okay, so when this number, the exponent on top, is smaller than the exponent on the bottom, you're done. You can't go any farther. You're just done right here. So that's your what? That's your remainder. Okay, so go back up and just say plus a remainder of, I don't remember, negative
X minus 5.
over the divisor is
X squared plus X plus 1.
plus 1. Okay, got it. There it is. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Just a quick check. Okay, ready? I just want you to write the check. You don't have to do it. Whoa, went the wrong way. Okay, so the check is going to be, take the answer, which is what?
X squared minus x plus 2.
That's the answer, times the divisor.
X squared plus x plus 1.
You'll get something, and then you're going to go plus what?
The remainder.
The remainder was,
Negative x minus 5 over.
no, don't, you don't have to say over. Just, that's the remainder, add it on. You don't need that add. So just, there you go. So you'd have to do a lot of foiling here, and then add minus x minus 5, and you would get what's inside. If you don't trust me, which you shouldn't trust me, do it once. Do it once for yourself, and make sure it works, okay? All right? You don't always trust everybody that's telling you stuff, right? I will tell you, I won't lie to you, but just do it yourself once or twice, okay? So you like long division?
Yeah.
I didn't expect yeah. You do?
I remember the misery of
You
synthetic stuff.
guys, can I be honest? We're going to do it today. We're going to do it tonight on your homework. We're going to do it on your review and your quiz, maybe on the test. Then the rest of the year, guess any test to do it? Nah, probably one more time. It's because I say what? How are we going to do this problem? And you'll go, and then I'll go, and then you'll go, ugh. Really, we don't do it very often, but you need to know how to do it because it is needed in some problems, not all, but some. So most of the time, you won't do long division. Guess what you'll do? Aha! There's something easier than long. It's called what? Synthetic. But the problem is the divisor has to be what?
Linear.
X to the first. So if I go back to this problem, it won't work because this is not linear. You can't do this one synthetically, but almost every one you can. Because most of the time you're not dividing by this. Okay, how do you do it? You know that little bracket we did? Bracket? Turn it upside down. Go like that. Okay. Now, this is how nice it is. You just take the coefficients of the one you're dividing into. 1, 2, 1, negative 3. Write them down. 1, 2, 1, negative 3. We do not even worry about x's. We just numbers. Okay? And then what you divide by out here, guys, is not x plus 1. You have to think of this as a factor, x plus 1. Think of it as a factor. I want the what out here? The 0.
Negative.
If that was a factor, what's the 0? Negative 1. That's what you put out there. And people get this wrong only because they put what out here? They put 1, and they get it wrong. Okay? Now, how easy is this? You probably remember. You just put a 0 in the corner. Okay? And there's two things you do. Add, multiply. Add, multiply. Add, multiply. Ready? We add down. Vertically, we just add. What's this? 1. Diagonally, we what? Multiply. This times this is negative 1. Vertically, we add. What do we get? 1. Diagonally, we multiply. What's that? Negative 1. Vertically, we add. We get 0. Diagonally, we multiply. We get what? 0. Vertically, we add. We get what? Okay. What you're looking at down here is the answer to division. Now remember, the numbers stood for coefficients, right? Well, guess what the last number stands for? The what? Okay, I'm kind of hearing it. Remainder. Yes, you're right. Remainder. Okay. Guess what the 0 stands for? The constant. Yep. And the 1 would stand for what? It's the x term. The x term in your answer. This stands for what? The x squared term in your answer. Good. And if I had another number, it'd be the x cubed term. X to the 4th term. X to the 5th term. Got it? Okay. So let's write the answer up. What's the answer to this problem over here? 1x squared plus 1x plus nothing. Remainder of, I can say plus remainder of negative 3 over x plus 1, right? Good? So if you had to check it, what would you do? Check would be what again? Take your answer. What's your answer? X squared plus x times your divisor, x plus 1, and then whatever that is, add to it what number? The remainder, negative 3. So FOIL, blah, 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 whatever you get, take away 3. And it better be what? It better be that. Okay? That's all I got. What do you think? You hate what? Synthetic? Oh my goodness. Synthetic to me is, if I'm good at adding and multiplying, it's really so fast. It really is. Can I tell you where you guys might get bogged down? And I tell you this, it's going to happen to some of you. You're going to do this problem on the test. Not this one. Okay, you're going to do this problem. And just pretend it's at x minus 8 or something like that. That part I don't care about. What's going to happen is,
You're going to forget the zeros.
Yep, you're gonna forget the zeros. So you'd have to do what on this one? First of all, what would you put out here? 8. Give me the coefficients. 1.
0,
Yes.
2,
0, negative
And guess what happens to 10% of us?
0.
We don't put the zeros and we go, oh, this is so easy. And guess what? It's so wrong. It's just so wrong. Because you never put your place values in. So be careful on your homework today. You're gonna get those missing spots. But if you don't put a zero in the missing spots, you're toast. Okay? You guys actually got more time because you said start the lesson. So you got 17 minutes. I think it starts out with long division, synthetic, and then I canceled number 47 and 48 because that's where I wanted to stop. So I think it ends now. You're gonna end on I don't know, 30 something. Which one? 30.
32.
32. Okay, 32. You gotta get to 32 today.
That's not bad.
Some of it's long division, some of it's synthetic.
Did we get an
We did. I gave it this week on Monday.
I was
You haven't been here a lot.
I wasn't here Monday or Tuesday.
Oh, yes?
No, I was here yesterday.
Oh, you were? You weren't here Monday? Or Tuesday?
No.
Then Wednesday? Still in that.
Well, 'cause I didn't
That
know,
sounds like you might be behind now.
I didn't know how to do this because I wasn't here for these.
Oh, yeah.
So I was trying to find it on YouTube, but I couldn't find
Well,
it.
I just put this out on there last night. That's why you didn't see it. This will be 2, 2. What did I call it? This one was 2, 2.